I received a comment. I can't remember if it was on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube, but it was something along the lines of, and it was in response to AI Overviews taking over Google. Yesterday, I made this super long podcast sharing Semrush's 10 million keyword research on how AI Overviews are taking over Google. And so somebody said, I have a publisher. So I put out articles. That's my business model. And I think this business model, being a publisher, putting out articles, only has 1 to 2 years left. Maybe the smart thing to do is to shift to gated content. So you actually have to pay, and all the content is behind a paywall, and maybe that is the future. Somebody left me that comment. So the person is a publisher, thinks that publisher model with SEO will only work for 1 to 2 more years, considering shifting to paid content only. And so this is my response to that. This is what I personally would do if I was in this position. I'm not saying if you're in this position, because a bunch of listeners are in this position. I've heard this from several people. If you're in this position, you don't have to do this. This is what I personally would do, given the style of marketing that I like and that I like making products. So this is what I would do. And actually, I believe in this so much that I've been lobbying Forbes to do this same thing. Forbes, huge publisher. Everyone knows Forbes. One of my closest friends, he's been on this show a few times. He's an executive at Forbes. And I've been telling him, and I've been telling other executives at Forbes, you should do this. I just believe in this so strongly. So, okay, if you're a publisher, an existing publisher, and you're already ranking for stuff, because that's the scenario that this person was in, that means you already have decent domain authority and decent topical authority. So you've built up authority in this topic, in your niche, and you have good enough domain authority that you're able to rank for lots of things. If you're worried about AI overviews taking your business, that means you're already ranking for lots of keywords. So you can already rank and you have topical authority. That's super important. You don't need to do any more link building. You don't need more backlinks at this point. So what I would do is I would change my business model and sell my own products. Instead of selling other people's products, maybe through affiliate commissions, which is really common for publishers, I would make my own product, but I would start small. So I would also, I was going to compare this to social media influencers who develop their own products, but it's very different because social media influencers, they build an audience and then they make a product and then they sell that product to their existing audience. But their funnel is really just social media. So this is actually very different because you will make this and you might not even feel comfortable promoting it to your audience, which is totally fine. And in fact, I would recommend starting so small that you don't feel comfortable sharing it to your audience, because I would actually advocate with this strategy, making SEO the primary distribution channel and only start sharing it to your audience when you feel good about the product. But anyway, you're going to make a product. I'll get to that in a moment about what the product is. Your distribution channel, it's going to be transactional keywords. So transactional keywords, people are searching to take action and become a customer, a user, or a lead. They are literally searching because they have a problem that they want to solve and they believe a product will solve that problem, and they're ready to use that product right now or do a discovery call, whatever it is. They know what they want. They know exactly what they want, but they don't know the brand that will give them what they want. These keywords, transactional keywords, they're usually less searched. There's less volume behind them, but they convert a lot better. But because they are less searched, it makes them less competitive. So they're easier. They don't require more backlinks, like I already said, and they rank for longer and they get recommended by AI as well. They get recommended by AI because even if AI is synthesizing what is on your page, it's still recommending your brand as the solution because, again, people are searching, wanting to use something or talk to somebody. So you are still being recommended. AI might synthesize your page, but AI is going to say, use this brand. And actually, there is a way less chance that AI is going to synthesize your page, especially AI overviews, because AI overviews are primarily targeting informational keywords where people are searching how, what, why, when, where, etc. All right, so what product would you make? It depends on the niche. I love software. If you can find a software idea, I would say start with that because it's very easy to make changes to software and it's so darn cheap. It's so cheap. And because of AI coding tools now, a developer that you hire, an inexpensive developer that you hire can become a superhuman. It is so cheap and so much easier with AI coding tools now. But the important thing is that you would start really, and it doesn't have to be software. It can, if you want to do, you can do a physical product or something else. I just love software. But if you do software, the important thing is that you start really, really small, super simple, not many features, basically like just one feature. It's almost going to look more like a linkable asset than it will a product. So a linkable asset, that could be like a calculator. I shared the story of donothingfor2minutes.com, which ended up as a promotional tool to Calm app. But it was literally a site where when you arrived on the site, it said, okay, the countdown started, don't move your mouse, don't type anything, 2 minutes, and you see the countdown, and you have to do that for 2 minutes. You have to do nothing for 2 minutes. And this went so viral, it got 384,000 backlinks from 7.1 thousand domains. Donothingfor2minutes.com. And it could be literally your first product could be that simple, and then you would add features and build it into something. Calm started as donothingfor2minutes.com. And the Calm app is, I think it's $1 billion. I'm pretty sure it's a mega unicorn. It's a very successful app. So start really small with the product. It also makes it cheaper and easier. And then what will happen is as you put up pages and you rank for more transactional keywords, people will contact you and tell you what they want. So make it really easy for people to get in touch. Maybe they'll very often what will happen is they will email and say, can your product do this? Will your product satisfy this use case? This is my use case. This is my problem. Will your product satisfy this? And you will hear the same thing from enough people that you will know what to build next. You will know what to make next. That's more applicable for software. You can do that with some physical products too. Or you can add lines onto physical products. People actually, you made this physical product. You thought people wanted it. People actually wanted this, and now you give them this. But you learn what to build. And then eventually, if it's software, you'll paywall stuff, and then you'll make more money and more money and more money as you continue to build features and make the paywall version of the software better. Again, it doesn't need to be software. I just like it because it's so easy and cheap. Oh, another crazy thing is you could also just put up a bunch of bottom of funnel pages and only develop the thing, SaaS, physical goods, whatever. You could only develop the thing when you start ranking. So there would be a bunch of disappointed people, but you just move fast once you start ranking. And I've done this. I put up these bottom of funnel pages and I'm like, okay, we'll only build this when we get interest. And then we got interest and we made the thing. So if you're less risk averse and you don't want to invest the money in building it, which is really inexpensive if it's software and you're using AI coding tools. But if you're more risk averse, you can just put up these pages, see if you can rank for these bottom of funnel keywords for the thing that you would build. And then once you start ranking, and once you see people clicking on the use now button or contact button or buy the thing button, then you actually go and make it. But so the overall idea with this is that you would eventually become more like HubSpot. HubSpot is such a good example. HubSpot is a product with a very popular blog, and the blog is just one aspect of the business that brings them customers. So your business model shifts. You go from being a blog that sells other people's products to your own product with a popular blog. And that's what I personally would do. That's what I've been lobbying Forbes for. If I had a publication that I really believe that this business model as a publisher would only last for 1 to 2 more years, I would put this in. I would do this immediately. I'm not saying you have to do this. This is just what I would do. But you already have an advantage. You have topical authority. So you have authority for your niche. You can rank. So why not sell your own stuff? Anyway, I wanted to share that. That's what I would do. If you want an outline, if you want my outline for this game plan, just send me an email. I'll send you, literally, it's my outline that I've been reading from as I recorded this episode, and I'll send that to you. You can email me at edward@edwardsturm.com, or you can message me on X at Edward each day on X, and I'll send it to you there, or on Threads, actually. Threads too. On Threads, I'm edward.builds. And if you want to learn more about transactional SEO, I have a 13-plus-hour SEO course that shows how to find these keywords, how to make the pages, and it is not blog SEO. And actually, I just completely, if you checked out the landing page already, I completely redid the landing page. I put up a new explainer video, which is 10 minutes, super in-depth. Spent so much time on this new landing page, and I think it explains the value proposition of compact keywords really clearly. So I hope you'll check that out too. And that is all for episode 672 of my daily digital marketing show. 672 days in a row doing this podcast. Thank you so much if you watch this on YouTube. And if you listened on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, thank you so much as well for listening. I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye now.